Hello and welcome to EGW Writings Tech Tips. I'm your host, Daryl Thompson. Thank you for joining us today in the first of our series on learning how to use the new egwwritings.org website. Now, a lot of you, when we released the site a few months back, said, wow, this site seems to have so much material and it seems to be so complicated. It may look complicated on its first glance, but if you spend a little bit of time at it, it actually all gels together and makes a lot of sense. But to help you through the process on learning how to use it, I'm going to make a series of tutorial videos on how to use the egwwritings.org new website. Now, the first one that we're going to take a look at is the EGW Writings header. Now, what is the header? That is that bar that sits across the top of the website. And you'll see EGW Writings and the search and a few other little tools. And I'm going to go through and explain each in detail to you in this video tutorial. So in front of me here, I've opened up the website and you can see egwwritings.org right there at the top. And this blue bar across the top that I'm just circling here with my mouse is the header. And we're going to look at all the different components that we have here. We'll start on the left-hand side, and the first one is the menu. Now, the menu is always exposed, and you can run your mouse up and down to access each of these menu items. They're there all the time. If you're not sure what they are, you can literally click on it, and it will open up the menu to expose the details of what the full name is. So we have all collections, categories, titles, audiobooks, and then you'll notice a series of these grayed out. What that is, if you tap on them, we'll learn that in a future tutorial, is that you'll need to log in. And to log in, you can either tap here or click on the login over the right-hand side of the little blue toolbar at the top, the header toolbar. So you've got My Library, you've got Workspaces, Study Center, History, Subscriptions, Biography, About, Fact, and more, and then more info. So you've got all these menu items here, and we're going to go into detail, tutorial by tutorial, and explain how to use each one. This one is just the toolbar, the menu bar, the header, whatever you want to call it, at the top of the website. Now, the second icon here is Tree, and it looks like, those old yellow manila folders that you would put in a file drawer. And if you tap on it here, now the icon changes to look like it's open. So it looks like we opened the file drawer up. Well, indeed, this is what we call the tree or the table of contents. And you can see that it's listing here all of the languages. And if we expand the languages, then you can see the collections of books that are within that language. So this here is my tree, we call it, or table of contents. Now this one here is very useful because when we tap that, let's say that we jump out and go to a different section of the site, you just tap the EGW Writings logo and it's the home icon. See how it changes when I roll over it in the effect? That is the home icon. So no matter if I go anywhere in the website, all I need to do is click the EGW Writings logo and it'll always bring me back to the home screen. And we can close the little tree here again. So tap to open, tap to close, tap to open, tap to close. Now underneath, there are two sister websites to EGW Writings. There's our, we've had this site up for 25 years, the whiteestate.org website. This is our site that deals with the life and the information about the life of ministry of Ellen G. White and her estate. There is another icon here, that's ellenwhite.org, and this is our digital online research center. And it will go through, and it has tons and tons and tons of resources here for people to search. And it has its own search and accessible areas. There is one area that we do link across, and we'll get into that later, is the FAQ section from EGW Writings. Let's just close these two little tabs here that opened up to our website. Now, this great big white long bar is the text search entry box. And there is an icon that you may miss right at the beginning here. Some of you were familiar with our old EGW Writings Folio Views program or the Ellen G. White Complete Published Writings program. Now that had what we would call filter menus. And it would enable you to go through the different collections and do search. Now we call this advanced search, but if you're familiar with our old Folio Views software, the same search templates or filters that were in the Folio Views program, we have brought across into the new egwwritings.org website. And these also used to be on our old original egwwritings.org website that we released over 11 years ago. And by the way, I'll show you in a little bit where you can still access the old site if you haven't quite grasped all the new tools of the new one. So in here, you've got EGW books, periodicals, and we'll go through these little search filters in detail later. In this one, we're just going through the header to show you all the different tools that are available. Now, the next section in here is where you enter your search terms. Now, once you enter the search terms, you have all these little tiny things that pop up. And that pre-populates what we call pre-search to help guide you through what you may be searching for. So let me explain some of the tools here. So here we have, and it actually explains this. So let me hit the little X. You can see the first suggestion is it will give you words that are autocomplete. So you start to type and it will suggest from the complete database of words within the writings, and we have over 180,000 unique words in all this database. And it will suggest autocomplete or autocorrection in the first line of results. The next is synonyms, and the third is word suggestions. So if I type in here, faith, you can see it has autocomplete, so faith, faithfully, faithfulness, faithless, and then you have synonyms, stock, objective, imprudence, belief, and then you have suggestions down here in a phrase, so like faith and hope, faith in the word, faith of Jesus, and they are actual phrases that are taken from the EGW Writings books themselves. Now you see here where it searches for faith, and it says search for text. The reason is if I type in the book education here, it will say, did you mean education? If I click that, or I click search, it will actually open up the book education. But maybe I don't want to open up the book education. Maybe I actually want to search for the text education, for the word. So we have two forms. The default, if you type a book title, it will search for the book and open it up. But if you want to search for the text in the title, you can do that by just clicking on search for text. So there's the two things you can do. And then translate here, we have people from 200 countries across all the world. We have 137 languages on this site. And what we have built, by default, if I type in a word, it says, so you're typing it in English. Do you want to automatically translate this to another language? And, you can come across here. And maybe I want to take it to, let's see, I'm looking for P. Where's the letter P? Oh, I'm a little lost here. Where is it? There it is. PT, down the bottom. Portuguese. So I can click on there, and it will automatically translate from English into Portuguese. And it uses the ISO 2-letter country code. And that's right there. And then it will pop up here in the search what the default language now that you're looking here. And you can click over on the underneath. You can hide this bar, or you can click here and go back and flip it back over to English. So I can just click here, click on English, and it comes back and changes it back to English again. All right, so there we go. That is the little translation. Or search for text. So I'll just show you. Like I'll click on education. Notice when I click on the word education, it automatically opened up, like I said it would, to the book education. Now what it will do, if it matches here, the word education I typed in, and it matches the book title, it will show me in the tree here all titles, and there are 14 titles that have education in their title, the word education in their title. So you can scroll down. This will help you look for that, that word. So if I type, say, councils, all right. So if I type councils, now the pre-search brings up in here. When I hit enter, it's post-search. It actually runs the search. And see how it switches over and now it says, well, there are 15 books with councils in the title. So this is the post-search that pops up. And you can see that I didn't type a matching book title, so it didn't actually open up the results. It actually opened up all these suggestions, related search suggestions. We're going to get into that later. Looks complicated. It's actually there to help you. All right, so we've typed the word in here. We've gone through and explained this, and I'll just come back and do my education example. So if I type education, it takes me to the book, but say, oh, I actually wanted to search for the word education. I just click on the text, search text, education, and then it comes back and gives me my results. All right, so that's that section there. The next one is just the X to close out. And this here is you can actually hit the enter key or search from here. So if I come in here and search for faith, then it gives me my results in faith. If I want to highlight that word, I can actually double tap to select the text so I can retype a new word, But if I want to delete, I can also hit the X. So that's, you can double tap to select the word, triple tap to select the phrase, or hit the little X and close it out. Now, in here, when I type, education, I can hit the enter key on my keyboard, or I can hit the little search magnifying glass. That will run the search. Okay. The next icon is tutorials. The question mark stands for, the tutorials here. So what you can do is it gives you all the search syntax examples. Now, all of these are hyperlinked, so you can actually click to see the examples. So you can go in and you can learn how to search for a book. We already did that when we looked up education, but maybe, like on this, Education 57, if I select it, see how it automatically puts in for a hyperlink that Education 57. It took me directly to page 57. And if I know the paragraph number, I can take myself directly to the paragraph number by doing Education 57.3, or if I know the book code, that's faster, I can do ED space 57 period 3. And that means Education, page 57, paragraph 3. And you've got lots of different areas, which we'll go in later on the search help. This here is your menu language. So when you click on that, you can actually select the language that you want to have the menu in. Now, I better choose something that I can read a little bit. So if I select Espanol, then it will change the menus. If I come back to the home screen, it will change the menus into Spanish. Let me go back to English. Okay. Now, this here is very useful. This is sharing. And when I click on the sharing icon here, not the left click, not the right click, we have Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, email, copy, and print. So they're the default share icons. And no matter what page you're on, so let me jump into this Education 57.3. If I'm here and I click on share and I copy this link and I come into a new tab and paste it, see how it will bring me to exactly the same place that I was in here. So that's what the sharing is here. And you can share it out to any of these social media channels, or you can go email, copy, or print. The next one is a great area that I love, and it looks like a light theme, dark theme, and that's what it is. Exactly is what it is as the theme. So in here, I can change this to day mode, which is white text, or dawn mode, which gives it the pages a linen look, or dusk, which gives it like a gray, or the mode that I prefer, dark mode. So you've got 4 color modes. If you have difficulty viewing a website and you say, wow, there's so many, lots of fonts and things going on here, you can actually switch it like into accessibility mode, which enlarges all the fonts and makes things bigger and high contrast. And there is a dark mode, accessibility mode, and then a day mode. And it makes the fonts bold and everything large and simplifies the toolbar a little bit. Okay, so that's accessibility mode. We'll switch back to dark mode. Then there's these down the bottom. So you can switch between desktop, tablet, text, or full screen. And so like in text mode, it simplifies and drops all the graphics. That's text mode. Come back to desktop. Tablet mode, it puts it out and gets rid of the menus. And then you've got, let me come back here to dark and desktop. And you have text mode, as I already went through. And then you have full screen mode, which gets rid of the browser URL and address bar at the top and makes the app run full screen, which is useful if you want to be reading. And then the next one takes you, like I mentioned before, to our original old website. So you can see here, this is the original old website that we released all the way back in June 2010. And it's still running today. But, you know, it doesn't have all the latest information and material and tools that the new EGW Writings website has. And this site will be around for another year or so, and then we'll take it down. Okay, so we're back to here. And the last one is your login. And there's some feature tools in here. So like you can change your default language. You can clear your history if you're logged in. That's if you're logged in. You can create backups if you're logged in of your study center and history. This is to access your subscriptions like Thought for the Day, Daily Devotional, or book reading plans. This is to contact us, the support, or you can log in. And when you click on here, if you've logged in and signed up to EGW Cloud, and we'll go through that process later on, you just click on, and now you are signed in. It'll remember the color settings, your fonts, your layout, your search templates, and all that, which is actually found down here in the settings that you can set the defaults that you would like to have for EGW Writing. So each time you come back to the site, it will load the defaults. And we'll get into those later on. Okay, so we have gone through all of the tools or menus that are available in the header of the EGW Writings website. There is a lot of tools there, but each of them has a function and a form that is created to look nice and easy to access. They're there all the time at the top of the website, right there in the header bar. All right, well, thank you for joining us for the first tutorial on the EGW Writings website. I know there was a lot of little pieces of information there. You can maybe need to watch it through 2 or 3 times just to see some of the little processes that I did. But thank you for joining us. Have a blessed day, and always remember to spend time with God in study and prayer daily, and He will always walk beside you each step of the way. Bye for now.